Thomas Partey is still being held hostage by Atletico Madrid. This is the Talk Football podcast. My name is Tinashe, and I'm joined by my co-host Shihab and Adam. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, all good. All good.
Yeah, doing all right.
Cool. Are you guys liking my intros? To be fair, this week was a little poor. Didn't get much time to prep it. But I like the last couple. Not too keen on this week though. But
Of course you would. They're all Arsenal related.
oh yeah, so I need to make it more neutral, don't I? Actually, even last week
Yeah.
was Arsenal related with Messi refusing to join the PL because of Arsenal signing Gabriel. But anyway, this week's episode is going to be pretty brief. Essentially, because I realize we haven't done it in a moment, just sort of catch up and update you guys and each other on the ins and outs or potential ins and outs transfers within each of the three clubs that we represent. So I will not start this time around. I will go to the man in the middle, Shabs. You kick us off with Liverpool. To be fair, yours will be pretty quick because there's not much happening. So yeah, well, unless there is stuff that's happened that
No,
we're not aware of.
so the most that's happening, I'm sure everyone wants to know about the Thiago situation. Still nothing on that. Liverpool are pretty quiet. There are rumours in Spain and around Europe about the Thiago and Gini Wijnaldum saga. Barcelona rumoured to be preparing an offer of around £13 million. Not sure that will happen. A bit wary on that one. But it seems Koeman's very keen on him. And it seems Barcelona, the board itself, would rather have Thiago. So I'm not sure how that one will play out. And we're obviously in a buy to sell to buy. So Thiago won't happen unless Wijnaldum leaves.
It looks like
in terms,
Gini is close to hitting Barcelona.
yeah, well, there's talks that he's agreed and they spoke to his agent, but they've not made a bid to actual Liverpool. So until that happens, we can't really say too much on it. And he's obviously away in international duty with Netherlands, so it's not often you get much happening while they're on away international duty.
What does preparing an offer actually mean?
Making a bid to the club, I guess, starting negotiations with the club.
Yeah.
Actually making
it. You just type in the number and say, "I'll bid you this much."
Probably. It would be interesting to know how exactly they make an official bid. But at the moment, from what I've heard, they've spoken to his agent.
But nothing with the two clubs, actually.
No, yeah, nothing with the two clubs. But then the stuff that we've had with Thiago for weeks, probably going on months now, where he's bought or he's interested in a house and all this kind of stuff, made pre-agreements with Liverpool and still had no chat on that. So I wouldn't take too much from it. Other stuff is Ryan Brewster possibly going out on loan to like a Sheffield United or a Newcastle, someone like that. But they possibly want permanent deals. I'd prefer to send him out on loan because he's so young and he has a lot of potential. And Liverpool have spoken very highly of him. So to then send him out on a permanent deal just does not make sense.
I would be very surprised if Klopp allowed him to leave on a permanent deal.
Yeah,
like,
I can see a loan, but yeah, I'll be shocked to see a permanent deal go down for him. And then there's other rumours like Origi being touted with other clubs and stuff like that. So if you do get Origi and Ryan Brewster out, there could be possible opportunities for a striker coming in.
Do you think they could potentially wait until to see if anything materializes for Origi before deciding whether to let out Brewster or not?
I think Brewster could be let out on a loan no matter what.
Right, okay.
I think Origi will be down to whether we have someone else to buy as a replacement. I think it'd be good for Ryan Brewster to go out on loan, to be honest. Because I also think outside of the front three, you've got Shaqiri who can come in. You got Taki Minamino who seems to be used, but as part of the front three. He did play number 10 against Blackpool in the friendly that we last had, which was quite interesting. But he usually comes in as part of the front three, and even Keita can go out wide left if need be. So I would like to see another striker come in, but otherwise we haven't got much else going on in Liverpool. We are a very poor club right now.
I completely forgot about Shaqiri. Has he had any game time recently?
Nah, I think he's been injured, and then he's been back in training, and he's not done anything, not played any games yet. He's a good player to keep, I think, as an option in the squad. So I can't see us selling him, but I can't see us using him that often either.
I would still. I've actually lost my trail of thought there.
Oh, another thing, while
Sorry.
you try and get it back, we do have rumored about 10 players that we have on supposedly sell lists that we want to make some money off. No one of big name or big stature, but some of the younger players and some of the players who could be like 22, 23, been out on loan already, and not really going to get any game time.
It's come
So
back. It's
possible
come back.
sales coming in there.
No, I was gonna just a brief
Yep.
mention to our last episode. I've brought in Taki and Naby Keita. Um, been part of my
Oh, nice. My
little
influencer seems
reshuffle.
like.
Um, well, to be fair, I watched some of the highlights of the game as well, and I was quite impressed with Taki. But whether how much he'll start and actually play, I'm not too sure. But he's, I
Yeah,
guess, a
starting is
placeholder.
my only issue for him. Yeah,
Placeholder
starting
just
is
now.
the only issue.
So swiftly moving on from pretty much virtually no update. Um, Nabi, what's going on at United?
I just wanted to clarify who's Taki.
Minamino.
Minamino.
Oh, is that his name? Is that his nickname?
Taki Minamino.
Yeah, that's his name.
Takumi Minamino
Yeah.
is his full name.
Interesting. For United, well, there's some stories about that they've been offered the Real Madrid left back who was on loan at Sevilla last year, Sergio Reguilon. Probably not said that right, but apparently he's been offered. I've seen that floating about a bit. And there's also like things that happen on social media that don't actually really mean anything, but they also might. Like De Gea put a photo of them together out of everyone in the squad. I think Mason Greenwood liked his profile. I think he's taken off he's cleared out his bio of all the other stuff. Little social media hints. But well, that one could happen. But I think there's also a story that Alex Telles from Porto is also a left back. Apparently, his representatives are in talks for a move as well. So it seems to be left back related. Because one thing I read was I think they're going to get in a left back, so they're going to have the new left back and Luke Shaw compete for the left back, and then Brandon Williams will be the backup right back, which actually makes more sense as he's right-footed, and then
Oh,
Dalla would be surplus to requirement.
do you think he'll be sold? Which it should be, to be honest. Clubs like United, if you surplus to requirement, surely. Not that I'm saying you need the money, but just getting rid of him now.
Well, he should, but United aren't really getting rid of anyone. Don't know because they don't want to, because they can't. But
I,
there's no one
I,
been going out the door.
I have a feeling it could potentially be the same, but probably not to the extent with Arsenal. That no, we're trying to shift some players. The main one that you guys have probably seen that has been offered around quite a few clubs in the last sort of month or so is Matteo Guendouzi. But with him, it seems like no one wants to touch him. None of the clubs are interested in Matteo. But yeah, sorry, Nabi. Back to you.
I think it's defence. I think they were linked with RB. I think it's Leipzig centre back Dayo Upamecano.
Yeah,
But again, that was
he
just
just signed a
there's
new
nothing.
contract like a couple weeks ago.
Yes, apparently he's got a release clause for the end of next
Yeah,
season
it
without
becomes
costing
active
millions.
from next summer.
So they'll probably go from then, but whether they make some kind of deal beforehand.
This would be the thing though,
But apart from that,
because he's literally one of the most wanted, I would say, centre backs in Europe right now. For most teams would um, want him, especially looking at his release clause. Isn't it like in the 40s, if I'm not mistaken? His release clause. It's not like it's anything outrageous. I don't think.
yeah, it's something reasonable.
Yeah. Yeah. Any more?
No, just Sancho. Other than that, nothing.
Any update? Any progress at all from Sancho?
Well, I think they've deliberately gone quiet because they thought too much was coming out earlier, so they don't want as much coming out now. So it could be happening, could not be happening, but
Right.
we
Okay.
wouldn't know about it.
Fair. Fair. And with the mighty Arsenal, just starting off with the two sort of suspected outgoings, Holding and Hector. With Holding, I saw some talks that Arsenal were sort of starting to feel a little bit reluctant to send him out on loan, but to Newcastle. But me personally, I would still think that that's a good loan move for him because for me, the way I look at it is if he performs well, then you'll make him available for sale. If he doesn't perform well, again, can still sell him. At least if he performs well, you can add a little bit more, a couple of millions to his valuation. But whether I want him to be sold or not, personally, I don't know. No, actually, I think I would want to keep him. I think it works out quite well actually because David Luiz, his contract is up next year, so he'll be going out. Scott Ryan Mustafi, his contract is up next year as well, and I don't suspect that they'll be renewing his contract. So at least that will be sort of two centre backs out pretty much from next summer. So I would like to have, I guess, Holding come back in as a backup essentially to Gabriel and Saliba. And then moving on to Hector Bellerin, it seems PSG are still sort of in and around. Well, they were offered Hector Bellerin by Arsenal because they are looking for a right back. And yeah, for me personally, I would take about 30 to 40 million for Hector. Um, but yeah, whether he seems open to the idea as well because from everything that I'm sort of reading and coming across, he seems pretty open to the idea. So if he's entertaining it, then yeah, I would say it's probably for him time for him now to um, go down the Paris or fashion walk rather than London. He's enjoyed London. I guess now here Paris is now available, and then if he leaves, then like I said before, make Ainsley Maitland-Niles the right wing back with Cedric as the backup. And in terms of the incomings that we've got potentially, we're starting with Thomas Partey. I was earlier on that Atletico have rejected another bid by Arsenal with 35 million plus a player. The player I'm going to assume is Matteo Guendouzi because wasn't actually stated, but I'm just going to assume it could potentially be Matteo or Lacazette. But with Atleti, I think they just want the release clause met rather than sort of any um, agreements to include a player in with the reduced fee. So yeah, Atletico want the release clause met. For me personally, I think he is the obviously it seems that all the reports that we're reading, he's the high target. That's who I would want as well. For me, yeah, he definitely has to. For me, yeah, it kind of makes the way I look at it. It's kind of the difference between seriously challenging for top four or just sort of comfortably coasting through the season again. That's sort of how much of an impact I expect to have because a lot of fans I kind of think don't recognize his ball playing ability that he's actually really good at breaking the lines with passes as well as dribbling. And then the other one is Hussein Mawar. And yeah, to be honest, that one doesn't seem to be many update or any update on that as well. The situation still as is. I saw the Leon head coach, was it yesterday or the day before? Essentially, where he was asked about it, he was like, "No, Awar is still here. Yeah, there are clubs interested, but there's no offers been made yet." So yeah, he's still a Leon player. And for me, just to sort of quickly, I'll passed on the question to you guys as well, but two players that I would like to see Arsenal sign this summer, in addition to Partey, would be um, another Lille player, 22 years old, Bubakari Samori. I think I've mentioned him before. He's very similar to Thomas Partey. The way I would kind of look at it is, sort of apprenticeship under Partey to then eventually take over that role in the middle of the park. Very athletic, good on the ball, dribbling, passing. Um, and I think it could potentially be quite versatile as well, having him sort of sit a little bit deeper or push him up a little bit. Because again, quite like Partey, I think he does have an eye for a key pass as well. And the other one I'm a huge fan of is Celtic's striker, Otson Edward. Though I'm seeing that Celtic are not going to sort of let him go for any less than sort of 30 or 35 million, which is quite a lot of money. But yeah, for me, he would suit everything that Arteta wants in a striker. He can dribble, he can hold the ball up, and he works hard as well. And on top of that, those kind of sort of three sections: dribbling, holding the play up, and working hard. That's what Alexander Lacazette kind of does at the moment. However, that's then taking a hit on his goals. Whereas I think we would still be able to get quite a lot of goals from Odson Edward, and I think he's about 22, 23 as well. Um, so yeah, those are kind of the two that I would like to see Arsenal sign. And so starting with you, Nabi, do you have any ones or any two that you would like to see Manchester United sign, or are you not bothered at all?
Well, nothing new from what I've mentioned. If I had to pick two, it'd be Sancho and the Madrid left back.
Short and sweet. Nabi, how about you? Shihab, how about you? Sorry.
So mine would obviously be Thiago. But if I had to choose, because he's a very obvious choice for all Liverpool fans, but if I had to choose two more random ones, I wouldn't mind seeing Luis Suarez back in our club
Really?
for that reduced fee, where they're talking 10 or so million.
Yeah.
As a backup striker, who can easily get 20 plus goals, easily suits our style of play. No problems with the whole pressing game, all that kind of stuff.
Knows the Premier League as well.
Still offers a lot of quality. Knows the Premier League, very physical player. I just think as a backup striker, imagine 70 minutes up against that front three, and then you got Luis Suarez about to come on.
Do you think they'll sell him with a
It
muzzle?
would cause some problems. Nah, that's part of his game, isn't it? That's part of his
Well,
game.
I'm not sure.
You,
It might be
you
one
keep
where
him hungry. You keep him hungry, and then you let him loose on the pitch, don't
nah,
you?
it might be one where he definitely needs to take that out of his game. But that's fair. That's a good shout, to be fair. Luis Suarez. I'm not sure if he would get the 20 plus goals that you're claiming, but he definitely would get
He could
goals.
as a first team player, but he would get goals as a bench.
Yeah.
He would get a lot of impact compared to what we've got coming on. I know Origi is a legend and has made some impact off the bench, but he's not Luis Suarez.
Yeah,
And
fair
I
enough.
just think
Number two.
teams would. Number two, I would like if I had a dream choice and we weren't stuck on money. Upamecano, I would take him.
Yeah.
I think he's definitely one for the now and for the future.
Yeah.
And in 4 or 5 years, a Gomez Upamecano partnership could be very good.
That'll be because they're roughly the
And
same
they
age,
both
aren't
have
they?
very similar age. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
very similar age. Both about 21, 22. So, yeah, I could imagine bring him in under Van Dijk's wing, and then we have a Gomez Upamecano partnership for years to come, dominating the league. But that would never happen. But
No.
that would be a dream kind of signing for me,
No.
because I think we really do need a centre back.
Yeah. Well, to play alongside VVD, yeah, I do agree. But one thing I always forget to mention this at the start of the show. I'll put the socials, our Twitter and our Instagram, at the bottom of the in the description. Sorry, below. If you could please follow us on Twitter and also follow us or subscribe on YouTube as well, and follow us on Instagram. With myself, it'll be everything Arsenal related. With Shihab, Liverpool related. With Nabi, once every week you get an update on Manchester United related things. And on the overall page, the Talk Footy page, that's where we sort of cover all three teams in one go. Yeah. I think that's pretty much it. Please, yeah. So I'll put the details in the description below. Please hit follow. Please hit like, and also hit subscribe. Um, I'm not sure, you guys. Is there anything else that I've kind of missed? I think in terms of the transfers, that's kind
We
of
got a big show coming up.
oh
That's what I would say.
on next Friday. Yeah, yeah,
Wednesday,
yeah.
yeah, we got a big show coming up.
Next Friday's episode is going to be pretty interesting. See, we're going to hype it all up, and then it ends up being a show where everyone just gets along. You know, it's like, yeah, that's a pretty good point. No, no.
But season predictions.
We're gonna
So
have season
it's one
predictions,
to watch.
expectations, and we've also gonna got our Chelsea resident Chelsea fan Callum coming in. He's gonna obviously talk about Frank Lampard, also talk about the Chelsea signings. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting. And then yeah, continue on. I'm actually really looking forward to that. We'll also have Robbie on, who's also the other resident Arsenal fan in the team. So there's two of us. Um, Obviously
So you
myself
can play
included.
host. You
Yeah,
can play
yeah. Well,
host.
I'll have to sort of play the middleman. It will be difficult, especially with when Callum's involved as well. It will be very difficult not to get
Yeah, I can
emotional.
see a few heated. I can see a few heated
but,
debates coming up,
uh,
but you
um,
know,
but yeah, I think
yeah, it'll be interesting.
that's pretty much it. Actually, we'll pretty much just finish it there. So yeah, we'll see you guys. Well, not see you. We'll speak to you guys. Episode 5 coming up on next Friday. So please tune in, find us on all socials, and you'll be able to listen to us in all the places that you get your podcasts. So thank you very much for tuning in to our transfer updates. Until next time.